why you're coming back to Harlem Children Society. You don't have to go into too much depth, but tell me, a little bit about what you've done in the program and why you're coming back this year.
Okay, my name is Vivienne, and this is my 5th year at the Harlem Children Society. I came in with Clara Barton, stayed, and I went to Hungary College, just graduated. Majors in English and classical studies, and I'm coming back to Harlem because I liked it, and it helped me to understand science more because I was not a science person. I stuck to more reading and kept it there, but when I came here, I kind of realized that there's more to science than just biology and chemistry and physics. That there's, little parts inside that I can find something I like in, and that's when I came to love the social sciences and anthropology and sociology. And I also learned to be a leader, even though I like to stay in the background. The last couple of years, I've been forced to be a leader, and I learned that, it's not as scary as some people make it to be, and I've grown more as a person as a leader. The first year I came, I was under Dr. Kano, which is anthropology, and we focused on the portrayal of Black women in media. Then my second year here, I was with Dr. Kretschmar in a biochemistry lab, and I think we focused on the binding of molecules and how we can speed up the binding and make sure it's stronger. Then the third year I was here, I was with the nutrition group, but we focused on obesity, and we basically figured out how to go forth with the idea of interviewing different people and interviewing families about how they learn nutrition and if they do learn it in school and what they should know, what they don't know. And then last year I was with Brendan, and we were doing nutrition, but now we were out in the farmers markets, we were out in the corner stores and the grocery stores, and we figured out that in certain areas where they're not so educated in nutrition, the quality of food is less, but when they're educated in nutrition and holistic health and everything, then the nutrition and the food in the supermarkets are much better and much fresher. So that's how I'm doing for a while now. And now I don't know what I'm doing yet because they haven't told me, but I hope I'm doing something fun.
Experience as a student in college. Can you explain that to me again?
Well, I have seen where she was given task, leadership role in college, but because she was with Harlem, she got so much in that position. I said therefore that she was a great leader there in college. Her subject area, at one point, she was in and she got very, very good grades. And all this came through Dr. Kano, I think, along with him. Some of the experience she got there and some things she were taught by Dr. Kano helped her in that area.
That's great. How do you feel that, Vivienne, how has Harlem Children Society affected your experience as a college student?
It's impacted me a lot, mostly in the class atmosphere, because I'm one of the people that learn when I have my own space, when I'm time to focus, but I don't have that in college anymore. You have noise and things going on around you, and you have to interact with people, and I wasn't so much a people person. But here I was forced to talk to people because, you had your group, you had to come every Tuesday and Thursday and talk in front of people, and I wasn't ready for that. But when I went to college, I learned that I had to speak up. When I didn't know something, I knew I had to talk to the professor and say, I don't understand this. And then they also taught me taking notes because I like to write extensive notes. I would say every single thing that the person said has to be written down, but it would take forever. So I had to learn during our lecture series that I can only pinpoint certain topics and then write a little something about it and then go back later that day and finish the notes so that it's still there, fresh in my mind, and I can remember, oh, he said, this is what happened. So when we went to college now, we didn't have the blackboard behind us to write and see what the teacher said. We had to listen to everything, and then later on, probably a week later, you might have it on blackboard. So I learned how to take notes from Harlem Children Society. I would take good notes so that I was able to actually look back and say, I understood what I said when I said this, 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 and this.
Do you feel like you feel more comfortable going and talking to your professors because of being in Harlem Children Society and working with professors?
Yes, because I thought that they were more professional and higher learned than I was. So, questions that I would ask would seem, annoying But here, you have a mentor with you all the time. You can email them, you can call them, any question, no matter how simple it seems to you, they'll still explain it to the best of their ability so that you know. So when I went to college now, and there were just some topics I just could not grasp, it was easy for me to go in office hours to the professor and say, you said something Wednesday and I just don't understand this. Could you just tell it to me a different way? And I didn't feel like I was going to faint or have a heart attack or something, so it was a little easier for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was so scared to talk to professors in college. I never was.
I kept thinking that they were too smart for me to go to them, but here, they're right here with you all the time. So I thought, well, you're a professor, they have a PhD too, so I can go to my professor and ask anything if I feel like it.
Yeah, that's cool. So where do you see yourself career going? Are you going to pursue the sciences?
Yes, I do. I will be doing something in science. I can't leave it behind, even though I try to run sometimes. I can't run far from science. But I think mostly I want to study anthropology, and I really want to connect today with ancient times, with the ancient Greece and Rome. And the things that we are doing now are the same things they did then. But it's hard to see the parallel because it's decades of eras apart. But if you really look into their literature, even though we don't have much, scholarly works, you can still look in literature and find the connections that we have today. And I hope to actually build that bridge between the two, and then hopefully maybe teach others that you can look that far back and still find some parallel today. Just because we have technology doesn't mean it's any different than back then.
Science has a reputation when I was in high school of only nerds like science.
That's right.
How has Harlem Children Society made you think about that cliche that only nerds like science?
That is so not true. When I came into Harlem Children Society, I remember Louis. He had been in the program, I think maybe 3 or 4 years at that time. I think he was in the second session when they first started the program. He was the second year. And I looked at him and I'm like, why is he here? Because he does not look like a geek. He doesn't have glasses. He looks like a jock. But when you hear Louis talk, you can see his passion really is in robotics. And I just couldn't put the two together. Like, what does he look like and then what he speaks? And I thought, well, if that's Louis, there must be other people out there too who look like, celebrities and rock stars and pop stars, but they really have a passion for science. And sometimes the nerds and the geeks aren't that passionate about science. It's just easy for them. So when I went to college, I found that very true, because there was a lot of friends that I have that you swear they could be on the catwalk, on the runway, but if you hear them talk about chemistry, about biology, you're thinking, wow, they really know their stuff. And Harlem really did show me that, look, cliche in high school, it's not true. It's only media, really. It's not true.
Tell me a little bit about, opportunities. My experience in the city is like, if you're from the upper middle class, like you have a million things that are just laid at your feet. And you as a mother obviously care deeply about education, and every parent knows the feeling of like, I want to be able to give my kid every opportunity. How is Harlem Children Society, how you, in terms of an opportunity for your child, can you talk a little bit about how you see it as an opportunity?
My child, it has opened a lot of doors for her. Because even now, although she is graduated from college now, and she's moving on, I think her experience here, because being in the education field myself for over 27 years, I know the importance of being at a certain level of education. And with her college experience and the experience she had here, it is really pushing her to a level that sometimes it seems as if I can't believe that she's at that level. And even although she's out of college, she's still pursuing with the hope to stick on to Harlem Children Society, because it has helped her so much over these 4 years. Because even this year, I didn't even think of her coming back. See that she's out, but she insists that she wants to be back. I do not know how long Harlem will entertain her, but I pray that she will have some great influence to those younger folks who are coming up. because they're me role model. And I think, not because she's my daughter, I know what she is made of, and I think she has a lot to offer the young people in Harlem Children Society.
Cool. Great. What are you talking about? You can't.